Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing our part 5 of the Coloring Heaven Animal Wonderland special. And we're doing the blue page here. In the last part we did the wood and ink minus this door. We did these in we did them in the ink first, and then I put pencil on top. So if I've made some knots in the wood and put some wood grain in, and I started down here on the drawers. This one is more or less finished. This one hasn't been touched. This one it started to be finished. And what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and finish this drawer here. The bottom of the cupboard here is going to all be done kind of like the top up there. So I'll do the top because it has curves and this is just flat. So kind of, you don't need to see flat work. It'd be better to see the curve up here. And then a couple of these panels up here. But we do have the shelves to do, and all the pencil work inside of all the little things. So I thought we'd do that in this part. So I'm going to do portions of everything, and then you can see how they're done, and then I will finish it off camera and post the finished picture at the end of the video. So what we're going to do is start here at the drawer. I'm going to get you down so you can see it just a little bit better. Right now it just has Inktense on it and a tiny bit of I believe that was dark honey. Dark honey, where are you? There we are. So I just went around in this area on the door pull. It's the same on this one. This one you'll see it's added color onto it. So we're going to take this dark honey and we're going to add a little bit into the wood grain here. Just kind of adding it here and there. We're going to take our darkest color, which is our chocolate. And I'm going to give this just a tiny bit of a sharper point. Two little turns will do it. Okay. And we're going to lay down, I'll say this here is going to be a curve in the wood. And then we'll bring another one and bring it down and over, and we'll stick a knot right in there. And then come down and up. Okay. Bring that together up here. Put some darkness down on this side and darken up the corner here. This is all for you to play with, deciding on the grain that you want to put in. If you even want to, you don't have to. You can just color this plain. Okay. You don't have to be perfect in your lines. That's the one nice thing about putting grain in wood. You can have shaky lines, so you can wiggle in something and just wiggle it in again. I like that part. Okay. Then we're going to darken this section of the knob and just bring that out onto the dark honey that we put on there. Bring in a secondary dark, which is your natural brown, and just kind of go over some of those lines again. Add it in the corners. Kind of brighten up some of those darker lines we have there. Add some of that into the knob too. Go around the knob so we have some depth to the drawer. I'm going to throw in a little apricot, brighten up some of that wood grain. Bring in some autumn brown. And then our last is Van Dyke Brown. And you just kind of want to go over the drawer. Knock back some of that orange. And there we go. That's a nice dark one. This one didn't get as dark, so I can just add some of that in there too. And this one, I think we just want to finish the doorknob there. So our drawers kind of all look the same. This one does have to get a little bit darker. It's probably because it's sitting closer to the light. I can't see it as well. Oops. Darken the knob a little bit. This one needs to be dark too. Okay, so there we have our drawers. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat. Turn this around and we're going to do, say, this portion up here. Get a little closer. There we go. Now, that's the ink that I used up here. What color do I have? I have the chocolate. So I'm just going to kind of darken that area there where this darker wood comes out. And put some veinage in there. Make it look like a piece of wood. Okay. Same up here. Now these pieces are going to be flat, but they're going to have a little bit of veining in them also. So you just want to kind of add a little bit to it. I'm going to go in really soft here. And we're just adding in, going downward, some more of the veinage. And like I said, you do not have to do this if you don't want. You can just leave it a nice smooth piece of wood. Just color it in dark brown or light brown or whatever you want to do. And then we'll go in with our lightest color, which is the brown ochre. And just kind of add some of that just here and there. If you missed any places with the Inktense, you can just go over and in the sections. Bring in the dark honey. couple of the dark browns, the Van Dyke. I don't know how far down you can see here. Okay, a little bit of the autumn brown. Just keep going over lines. Add some more in if you like. Just add in the new color. And then we'll go in with the chocolate. Just where the wood meets, so you know that there's a separation between those two pieces of wood. Okay, then we'll take the Van Dyke again and just go over the lightest areas. I'm going to put the pencil kind of sideways and just lightly go over. There we go, just to darken it up a little bit. Okay, well, that part's done. The part on top, we're just going to kind of darken this edge up. This is the Van Dyke. Just going around it. Give it a edge piece. Don't know where the rest of that is. Behind the flower there. I found it interesting that the pot is up on the edge. So I'm going to have to bring the pot down a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring in some wood grain. The grain is going to run parallel, and then the cut is done on the piece. So when you are looking at it, you're not going to notice, the wood grain doesn't wiggle. I mean, it wiggles. Because the wood wiggles. It's the rings in the wood. But it's not going to go up and down with the cut of the wood. So we're just going to add some in going lengthwise. Okay. Then we're just going to go in with our same colors. The honey, trace over those lines. Put some up here where it's dark. Go in with the brown ochre. Yep, go in with the autumn brown. And then go in with a little bit of the chocolate. Want the chocolate kind of up in the deep areas here. And then go everything with the Van Dyke. Okay, so we kind of have a wood grain going on there. I need to bring this pot that this is in down onto the shelving area. I would think that this is either in the front or the back. So either way, it can't just sit on this. It has to be either behind it, because this is a front railing, or it has to be in front of it because it's a back railing. And I'm going to make it a front railing and just bring this down a little bit into this area, because the bottom would sit about here, I think. And that is just me. It's going to bug me, so I am going to get a pen out and bring that down a little bit. It's not going to be too big of a deal, but I don't know which one of these is going to work. That'll work. So instead of having it, I mean, it could come all the way down, but that's a really sharp point. I'm going to pretend this is one of these that comes down here, and I'm just going to take it out and elongate it here so it looks like it sets down in here a little bit more. We'll just put a couple lines on there, and we'll bring this one out on this side. And that just makes it look like it's a little bit behind there, a little bit more. And when we color that, yeah, just gonna leave it alone for a bit. We're gonna do one of these pieces of wood here. We'll go in with the chocolate first. These are planks, and I want that plank to show where it's the darkest. And then we'll just pull some of these down. Plank goes to here. So we can pull in a knot here if you want and go around it. Instead of straight lines, kind of give them a little bit of a curve. Not everyone has to have a knot in it. Some just have to have a little curve. Or, you know, some kind of wood grain. Since we're doing this one, this piece of wood is going to sit on top of it. So we want a little shadow under here. This is a cut piece to have it go around the black. So you want to put a little shadow there too. Just going to pull that color right up. Okay, I'm going to bring in the autumn brown. Help that out a little bit. Then we'll go in with the Van Dyke. A little of the dark honey. Just want to bring in all those colors that you brought in the other wood. And if you think you went too dark, bring out your trusty little eraser, because you can take out a few of those colors if you like, and just give it a different texture there. So that is how I'm going to go across the whole thing. Over here, we want to make sure that this is the darker section and this is the lighter section in the back. So what we're going to do is take the dark honey on this side, kind of blend it in so there's white there. Pull some lines up from behind, but we do not want to get that too dark. We do want to get this piece dark. That's the line that goes up, lines that come down. And we do have to kind of go over the page there. Go in with some autumn brown. Get our shadow in there with the chocolate. And then we'll pull in the Van Dyke Brown up here. Okay. Get that blended just a bit more. But that's what we're going to do all the way across there. Got the drawers done. One of the things I want to show you is this doily that we're going to work on here. I'm going to take the dark honey or apricot. I got to figure out which one. Let's start with the apricot. But these lines here are stitched. So I was going to pull it up and go into this section here. And yeah, this is going to be the interesting part, because they're going to cross here. And that's going to kind of give us our stitching lines of our crocheted piece. Okay, I think I want to go in a little darker, but make sure they all come up. And then we're going to put in I want that even darker than that. Sharpen that up to a shiny, sharp, 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 sharp point. Kind of little hash marks in there. Because the thread they'd be using has got a twist on it. Get a little darker brown in there. Maybe a brown ochre. It looks a little too bright. Do you enjoy going on these little merry rides with me? I've never colored one of these in before. Oh, that's not much browner. I don't want to go too brown, so let's try. This is the Dyke Brown. I think that'll work. Let's try to get our lines where they're supposed to be. And then the edges there need to have a little bit of a soft color on them too. But I want to go a little softer. This one, what are you? Yelow Ochre. We're going to go around the edge on that. Kind of blend that a little bit. So you can see the stitch marks, but they're not so pronounced. Try not to go in the black. I did. I can get rid of that. Okay, for some reason the camera was not filming when I started to do this little thing here, so fortunately I have the other side to do. So we're going to go ahead and start on it. what I'm doing is, instead of having it in a flat doily, I'm actually putting in some kind of thread marks. So when you're looking at it, it kind of looks like it has thread going there. So we're just taking a dark honey here, and I'm just going up the line and then following it up to this area. And these are where the stitching would go up. And then going across the other side and coming up. And then keeping it so it'll go right up into that area. Going down and coloring those lines in there. And kind of giving it a crisscross down in this area also. And then we kind of want to color it in a little bit because the stitching is going to have like a triple or double crochet there. And that will fill in that blank area with the fiber of the thread. I have to go down here too. I have this up far enough for you guys to see, so I don't even know if I'm going on the lines. I'm going to bring in a little of the, what was I using there? Well, this is the dark honey. I think I was using the Dyke Brown. Just darken it down at this end. And bring some of that color up. Make sure our lines show here. Because there's going to be a couple of them in there. So we're just going to go up. And up on this side. Make sure these get color on them. Okay, shadow them in a little on this side. Then we're going to take in Yelow Ochre, which is a new color that I brought in. And we're just going to go around the bottom edge here. And bring that color up in this area. Okay, so that kind of looks like it has some stitching on it instead of plain. Like I said, this one will be left plain because that is more of a Battenberg type of cutout work on a piece of fabric, like the towel is done. Although I will take this Yelow Ochre and kind of shadow up a little bit more of this towel here. just want to give it a little more color to it other than plain white. Okay, do the same with this. We'll throw some of this in the honey too. Okay. What else can get some of this? We'll put some of it up here on the plate. Darken up that basket a little bit. Okay, change to another brown. I went ahead and did this on, I thought I was filming, but I didn't. Did it the same way as we did the drawers, basically added lines in 5 different colors of brown, and I did a couple of these pieces of wood, which I thought I was on camera and wasn't, but also the same way. I can do one here. Don't want to do the one behind the bee. I have to get down real close for that. So this was the chocolate that we're just darkening this edge of the wood with, going along the bottom here where it touches the black, bringing up some lines. You can curve a couple to make them look more like wood grain. Bring in the dark honey and add some of that in there. It's basically just the same colors. And then going over it with the Dyke Brown a little bit. Just for a little bit of a shadow. So basically that's how all those are going to be done. You don't need to see each one of those done. Rather do the work in here. This is mid blue. If you want to put any of the shadow work on this one, on any of the blue ones, this will work. And now it's going to go around and darken up some areas. The lighter portion, let me just get some lines in here. Oops, knew I was going to do that. because I sharpened it quite well, is Arctic, and it is a blue-white. So it will blend right into that lighter color we have there really nicely. So just go over it until you like the look you get. Oops, get that a little bit. But you can always erase. Don't fret. With these pencils, they erase really nicely to give you a nice little... I'm going to clean my eraser tip. It's got brown on it. There we go. Nice little highlight if you want it. Just like that. Works really well. So we'll be doing that down here on the teapot. We'll be doing that on the cups. Then going back in with the lightest color of the blue you have and just highlighting it all wherever you want to highlight. And if you want to make even a bigger highlight, we just take in the eraser and add just a little bit brighter in there. So up to you what you want to do. Well, we're going to do a little work. I'm going to leave that for right now. I will finish that up later. Take a little black and make this label here. This is a Prisma black, just because it's on my desk. Okay, so that's done. Can kind of darken this little bit, make it silver-ish lid. And then go in with a white here, which probably has a color on the tip. Okay. If you want to darken the baskets any, just take in some of the browns and you can darken those up, which I'll be playing with. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that the reds. Okay, we have Raisin, which would be a nice color because I like it. We're going to do that with these plums here. I don't know what they are, but we call them plums, or at least I did when I colored them. Raisin is one of the 28 colors that I just recently got for this set, making my 72 a wonderful 100 set. So we're just going to darken some of those areas up so they don't look white anywhere. There we go. We can also use this in with these cherries. And I'll go back in and put some red on that. If you want to, you can use the same color to darken up some of the jar over here. And we'll make that a black label on this one too. And we'll just bring in a little white for that, if I can find it. What do we have here? That might work. A little cinnamon. Let's see if that will blend that up a little bit. Throw a little in the frog with that. A little bit in the pear too. Just add it everywhere. It's a cool color. I like all these colors. We can throw in a little of the raisin on the edge here. Then just go around with the cinnamon on it. I'm kind of doing it in a wiggle so it looks more like a ruffly edge here. Okay. Just looking over everything. We're going to throw it down here in the towel too. It's the raisin first. And then the cinnamon. Tiny bit of white. Okay. And we have to do something with these plates so they're not so white. And we have a really soft, cool gray. And I'm thinking I might use it. Or I have, let's see. Yeah, mist. See what mist looks like. Yeah, that'll work. Just gonna put a little shadowing in here. So it's there. You can kind of see it. And you can tell here that it just pushes that plate right behind the other one, without changing the color too much. And we'll push it right behind this cup too. There we go. So it just kind of sets it back a little bit. We'll see. Sorry, I have to turn it. If in adding a little of that over here, we'll drop that cup. And this one. Just a bit of a shadow on it. Do that on the pink too. Just a bit of a shadow in there. Yeah, it's fun to play with. It's going to be a wrinkle right there, so we'll put it in with that color. And we'll put one here. Just a light enough color. We're going to use that up here on this little gray picture too. Picked up a little of the pink, didn't it? Okay, I had to quit playing around here. But now this is the cool gray. Gotta get some blue there up here. Okay. This is the Arctic. Okay. Okay, we're getting kind of into a long video, but I've decided I'm going to go ahead and make these wood here and try to make this more of a countertop area. So coloring that in, we're just going to use the same colors as we did up here. I'm going to Inktense it first, so we're going to put some saddle brown in here. I'm going to turn the book and just color it in. Kind of add some in there. Got to be a little careful because I don't want it getting over the pencil. Do the same thing here. Don't want it on the hooks. But I don't want the bottom one that way, so we're going to have to wait on that. So I'm just going to put the saddle brown in. Hopefully that won't mix up too much with that. That way I can go over it with the pencils and it'll match everything else. Get it out of the cup there. There. Okay. Let's see. So I will go ahead and we'll see what we can do here. This is either going to be, because this is pulled out from the cupboard itself, like their mixing shelf or their the shelf that they used to knead dough on, depending on what the cupboard here is. So this would not have been wood. This would have either been a metal, slate. I don't know what kind of material they would have had back then. I don't think they would have done it in marble, but they could have had a nice smooth surface to work on. So I just have to pick a color and make it that. I think I'm going to go with gray. And we will, yeah. Let's see. Maybe I'll just color it in grays. What do we have over here? I've got the cool gray. So if I turn the book, we do have to attach these lines over here since I brought everything else over this way. Okay, and then see how much of a shadow I can get with that. Might have to bring in a darker gray for that. This is cloud gray. Hate working on the edge of a paper. You can put some shadows underneath the things that are sitting here. And I don't think there's an edge over there. This would be a flat surface up and down, so it'll only be shadowed under the bottom. And I'm assuming this is the shelf that's underneath it, so that will be darker because it would come out. It's probably wood, so I could probably leave that one brown. I'm going to throw in some gray because I already put some in over there. Okay, then we'll go in with the cool gray. And then we'll pull out the white. I'll get the white out from this set. And we'll just kind of blend that all together. Let's see how that looks. Now that I can see it right side up. That's not too bad. And like I said, the little shelves should be one of these dry enough. Go in with some dark honey. These aren't exactly sitting on the shelf, they're kind of raised above it. It's not all the way dry. A little of the chocolate. Gonna have to wait for those to dry. Oh, we can't put that color in. That would be interesting. The brown ochre. Put a little of that brown ochre in these biscuits too. Should be sitting on the shelf. And some Dyke Brown. Anyway, it's the same as the other ones. You just have to be careful in the holes of the doily since we spent so much time trying not to cover them up. And I will darken those. So I'm going to call it done. I've showed you how to do the little gray shelf here. I may do some touch up. I'm going to add some Posca in around the pots and cups like I did with the glass up here. I will finish the woodwork. I'm going to do this little pot up here in the blue, the same as the teapot, to bring that color up here. That was done in the dark aquamarine in the Inktense, so we'll just put that on there and do that real quick. And I could get paper up there. By the way, if you were curious, none of that color has come through on the back of the page except for a little bit of this apple. But the apple was done, let's see, it's red. I'm just going to say it that way. It would probably come through, but that is not much at all. And if you always keep a paper back here, you won't get anything on the next page. I don't mind this crinkling that's going on with the paper. Some people might. but I think it's fun. So we'll just draw that right up and off the page up here. Wherever the top of the page is. I'll have to draw in got some green. I'll draw in these leaves with a pencil or a pen. Finish that one off up there. And possibly ink just a little bit of green up at the top. But other than that, I just have the details to finish. Finish up the little panels. Do the bottom, which is just like the top up there, just to darken it down here. I'll put little feet on my chicks that I haven't done yet. And probably put a little more green in the apple, but other than that, that is it. So I will put a finished picture at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in another video doing another page. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye now.